I want to make a quick video to encourage people who are struggling through um, some sort of injury or rehab or surgery or recovery in any way. Um, Full disclosure, I'm actually in the throes of that now. I'm struggling through a recovery of a full complete quad tear 2 years ago that had healed up pretty well and then required another surgery last summer. And has not done well, and I have not been diligent, and I have not done my best to recover. But as fate would have it, some other people that I am close to have also been injured, and I decided that I need to rededicate myself to my recovery as an example to other people. And I haven't done well at that. But this video is to encourage people who are going through some sort of recovery, major or minor. Um, and I thought, man, what can I tell people at all that's better than hopes and prayers and that kind of nonsense? Do good, you're going to be fine, that kind of thing. So I thought really hard about this, and I thought about my own situation. So what I'm going to tell you is really what I'm telling myself right now, and that's just simply this: reframe your situation like this. It is hard when you see where you are right now compared to where you were. When you were strong and you were training hard and you were doing good and you had capabilities, and now you don't because of an injury. And now you can only lift a little bit in your rehab. And you're working your way back, but you're constantly thinking about where you were, and you're constantly climbing and clawing and pulling yourself back to that place. I understand that may not be the best way to frame it, because when you are down here doing your rehab and working out with tiny little weights, and there's lots of pain and there's not a lot of range of motion and things are hard, and you look at where you were, where you used to be, and it seems so far away, that can be really disheartening. You go through today's workout for your rehab and you think, my God, I used to be way up there and now I'm just doing this. And that can be disheartening. The only advice that I think is useful for us, for me, for you, is to not look at that and compare yourself now to where you were. Instead, do this. Compare yourself where you are today to where you were yesterday. Yesterday, you were not as good as you are today. When you compare yourself to yesterday, if you've done your diligence and you've done your rehab and you've worked the program, then you are better. You have improved. You have grown. You have become bigger. You have become better. You're moving in the right direction. And when you compare yourself to that, it's positive. You're good. You're better. You've improved. You've done something. You've accomplished something. When you compare yourself now to where you used to be, Jesus Christ, there's not much to be proud of. There's not much to be excited about. In fact, there's a lot of overwhelming, oh my God, I've got so far to go. I have that now. Right now, I have that. But if I think about my last leg extension workout, it was better than the one before that. I had a good workout compared to what I did before that and what I did before that. And so when I look back and compare myself to where I was yesterday, I'm better and I have something to be proud of. When I compare myself to where I was, I can't be too proud of that. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to keep that as my guiding light, my star in the sky to guide me. But I'm not going to compare myself to having fallen all this way from where I was to where I am now. What I'm going to compare myself to now every day is where I was yesterday. And if I do my work, I'll have something to be proud of every day instead of ashamed of every day. If you compare yourself to where you were, it's going to feel bad. I know. I'm aware of that. But if you compare yourself to where you were yesterday, it feels good. A little better. Did a few more reps, put on 5 more pounds, did an extra set, stretched a little further, hurts a little less, felt a little stronger. And that feels good. So that's my advice. That's a lot to say to get there. But my advice is, don't compare yourself to where you used to be while you're working through an injury and doing your rehab, because you'll be very, very disappointed until the end of your rehab when you get closer back to there. Compare yourself to where you were yesterday, and you'll feel good because you did your work and you got your reward and you're feeling better and you're doing better, and keep it up. So there you have it. That's the only good advice that I think is worthy to give somebody when they're going through a rehab from a surgery or an injury or a setback. Stop comparing yourself to where you are. Keep that as your goal. Don't let go of that goal. But stop comparing where you are to where, because that's not where you are anymore. This is where you are. But where you are could be positive if you compare it to where you were yesterday and you did your work. So there you have that. I hope it helps. I don't know that it will. Not much helps. Just keep your head down, do the work, stay the course, and eventually you won't feel so bad. But possibly, maybe, if you take credit for the progress you've made already since yesterday and the day before and last week, you'll start to feel good about what you're doing. And I hope that you do. Because when we feel good about stuff, we work harder. When we feel shitty about stuff, it's hard to work hard. So maybe that helps, maybe it doesn't. Thanks for listening.